I kind of exceeded my expectations for how I was going to do this year. I came in not really expecting to really come out and score like I did, and I ended up getting a starting spot too. I really came out open-minded, just wanted to learn this year, and I ended up exceeding my expectations a little bit.
Played 8 games this season, averaging 12.5 points per game, 2.5 rebounds. You shot 49% from the field, but the number that stood out most was 62.5% from three-point range.
I guess the biggest thing that I learned is being a small guard like I am, you have to be, I would say, like exceptional at something, really good at something. And being a small point guard, shooting was the biggest thing to like make me stand out. And I knew that coming in the summer before coming into this year, I knew that in order for me to get time on the floor, I got to be able to space the floor and shoot the ball. So I spent this whole summer, or the whole summer before, working on my jump shot, and my hard work paid off.
And one thing from guys from Guam and just, having that island style of coaching, one thing that you can really say for yourself is you're a coachable player. Was that something that the coaches really looked at and were amazed at how well you were able to take everything in and translate that onto the court?
Again, going back to being a point guard, you're supposed to be an extension of the coach on the court. And I feel like that was what enabled me to stay on the floor longer and just like there's like adjusting on the fly and stuff like that. That's something that you got to be able to do as a player if you want to continue to stay on the floor.
Being a collegiate player now, what are some of the things that you're really looking at trying to put into your game so in your sophomore season you're going to have more success?
I guess there's two major things. One, staying consistent with my play. That I'll have some games where I feel like I'm unstoppable, and then I'll come back the next game and be completely passive and not really doing much. And that was a big thing with me at Scotland too. And because it's college, you will be scouted. So after you play a team once, the next time you play them, it's not going to be the same game. They're going to be ready for what you're good at. And it showed after my first two games. My first game, I had 30 points, and then the team was able to scout, and they figured I was a shooter, and they cut that in half the next game. So that staying consistent, and two, being able to adjust on the fly to what teams give you.
We're not going to take too much time off. You're getting right back to working out, hitting the gym, and getting with your coach. What's next for you during this off time?
In the summer, right now, I'm looking at going to New Orleans. I'm gonna train with my coach from Scotland for about 3 weeks, and then I'm back to South Carolina. Try to put on a little bit more muscle, get stronger, work on my shot, everything that, and then we'll be back here in August.
And hopefully, we'll be able to see you suit up for our men's national team sometime down the road. What's the conversations like with Coach EJ Calvo?
Yeah, I've talked to EJ a couple times. Once before I left to Guam, and then while I was at Scotland, he pretty much just told me to just keep sending him film, keep working on my game, and that right there is like a big goal for me. I've always wanted to represent Guam on the men's team, so hopefully in the future, when I get a little bit better, work on my game a little bit more, I'll be able to represent Guam and do big things for Guam.
And, there's a lot of young ballers out there following you on social media. What encouraging words of advice can you give our high school and young athletes out here on island that want to one day pursue basketball at the next level?
Man, I would say discipline, especially at this level, because when you get to college, you're going to be living on your own for the first time. You're going to have a lot more distractions. School is going to be a little bit harder. So I would say staying disciplined to continue to put in the work and stay in the books so that you're able to play good and excel off the court as well.